Are you ready for the great adventure? Friends, welcome to The Great Price. Chapter 4. The Mount of Repentance. After a few steps, the road got difficult, and in the distance they could see the Mount Repentance and, at its summit, a large cross. They pressed on, encouraged by their desire to return to the kingdom and meet the great Lord. A few minutes later, they finally reached the Mount of Repentance, and as they celebrated reaching their goal, the great Lord's son, the prince, appeared. Filled with emotion, they all approached and expressed their gratitude to the prince for giving them the map that showed them the way back home. At that moment, the prince said to them,
"Come, let us climb a little further, for you still have some way to go."
All the creatures followed the prince and began to climb toward the summit where the cross stood. When they reached the top, they found themselves face to face with the cross. The wind blew gently on their faces, and with each breath, they could feel an atmosphere charged with hope. However, between the summit and the kingdom of the great Lord, there was an abyss that no one could cross. The prince stopped and said to them in a calm voice,
"Disobedience caused so much evil that it formed this great abyss, preventing the return to the kingdom. The only way to return to the kingdom would be to pay a high price for a pure and obedient heart to drink from the waters of the well of great evil, even knowing that this could cause its death. No one was found to be pure, and so my father asked me to come to the cross, for this was the place where I had to drink from the waters of great evil. In obedience, I drank from the bitter and deadly waters, which dried up my body and caused my death. However, my Father, the great Lord, with great power, stretched out his hand and brought me back to life again to fulfill his plan, that all creatures might find their way back to the kingdom."
The Father's voice was heard throughout the kingdom, and he said,
"This is my beloved Son. Anyone who wants to return to the kingdom can only do so through him."
The creatures, upon hearing these words, were moved. Sincere tears rolled down their faces, not of sadness, but of deep repentance. Kneeling before the prince, they once again acknowledged that they had failed the great Lord, and understood that only through the prince could they return to the kingdom. Produced by Grace and Foundation.